Hey, good afternoon, race fans. We are back. It is January 2022, and we are racing at Spa. My name is Adam. Welcome, everyone, in. Appreciate you being here. We are going to get festivities underway here shortly. Again, today's standard race at Spa. I do thank everyone for being here. After a great race, 6-hour endurance race at Silverstone last week that was just, I mean, look, it had our bumps, we had our bumps and bruises, but just fantastic to see that many teams turn out and put together such a great race right into the new year. And now we go back to regular season racing. This is going to be fantastic. And Spa, absolutely one of my favorite tracks. I won't lie. It's a long track, right? Averages of 220, 218 right in there. 222s, you know, whatever your pace is, doesn't matter. It's a longer track, but can be a lot of fun, particularly through Eau Rouge and heading up to the straight. So Lemon Lid says poo. I don't know why. We're gonna jump in with Mr. Kevin Huffman. Get things started real fast. Huff, are you there, sir?
Yeah, man.
Hey, man. Let me know when the server.
Just started it up, so
Awesome. Let's get going here. How are you today, sir?
hanging in there, man.
That's good.
Off to a new year. All kinds of new things going on.
Ready
We've
for
had crappy weather here lately.
Oh, don't give me. So I was just talking to my wife about that, actually, or texting with her real fast. You know, yesterday morning was like -5, -10 degrees. Today it's all the way up to 35, 36, and now we just got an alert that wind chills are going to be -35 starting tomorrow night.
Good Lord. Ours isn't that crappy. We just got you know, roughly 10 inches of snow depending on elevation. And we today it's raining like a lot, so we have all that snow that was up on the mountains and the runoff and all the rain, dude. It's flooded everywhere. It's a mess.
Wonderful. I can imagine. Yeah, you're down further south, like Virginia, West Virginia, somewhere down in there, right?
Yeah, I'm like southwest West Virginia. So
gotcha. So yeah, it's not gonna be the cold, but I know that storm was not a lot of fun for folks. So especially when you're not used to getting it.
No, I mean, that's a pretty solid snow, and for us, you know, 10 inches is like 10 feet for some people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the people around here don't know how to drive in it either, so.
Dude, if we get like an inch of snow out here, the whole city shuts down. People fucking lose their mind.
Alright, crap.
Zap. Did I just curse on stream?
Yep.
Zap is not allowed in the race now. What car is he in? Dude, why is this entry list a mess this week?
I don't know, but we've got 24 drivers on paddock thus far. While we sign up our free practice. Bear Necessities, first time chatter. Welcome in, Bear. You know who it is, man. Come on. Had to take these lovely vocals somewhere else for the new league. What's going on, my man, Bear Necessities?
Yo, are we only doing the certain people go the first 10 minutes and then the next 10 minutes people go?
Nope.
Go qualify. Okay. Yeah, Lemon Lids says family-friendly goal failed already. Well, true.
I didn't realize we had gone live, so F you.
You heard? Oh my God. Go drive your car.
No. I thought we weren't going live till Molson came back, so I thought I could get one F-bomb in.
I literally came back and you were talking to me about snow.
I know, but I didn't know the Twitch had started already, ho.
Oh my Lord.
And now that it's going, he's still
like, yeah, it's never gonna get better.
Chief, if you had a swear jar, would you be a millionaire?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, I know I would,
he'd be broke. He'd be broke.
Well,
he would get his paycheck, he would write another check and just put the check in he'd just endorse it and put the check right in the swear jar, and probably still be at a deficit.
I know the real you.
But I'm not talking. We're not talking about the real me. We're talking about the me broadcasting races. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Two-Face is what they call that.
All right.
It's called reading the room. Oh my God. B5, I know it's horrible, isn't it? Uh-oh. We having more troubles, huh?
Zap is not able to get in his current car for some reason.
Yeah, but nobody
still
wants
has him in the old Porsche. Dude, he put in a lot of work. We were just talking about that. He put in so much practice, and he actually got quite rapid last night. We were doing a few public hobby races. Yeah, he did really good.
He's still driving the Porsche?
Yeah, but he switched over to the new one. He used to drive the old one. You know, everybody was always on his butt to get on the new one. It's quicker, yada yada yada.
Gotcha.
You know, you drive the slow Porsche. So.
You like the new update to the software? It gives me yellow flags now.
I wonder how mad people would be if we restarted the server. And I just did a 5-minute free practice real quick.
Do it now before qualifying.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just hate to make people freaking mad. It's 28 people that are gonna have to re-enter the server. Guys, what do you think?
Yeah, just do it.
Okay.
Do it. Just do it. We're gonna close that.
Did you not see the whole like car coming out of pits thing?
All right, so Zapparino is going into car model, not the cup car. You don't want that smoke, do you, Zap?
We'll deafen those guys out for just a minute here so I can talk to everybody while we wait for the server to come back up. Hope, again, everyone's having a great day. Fife, you definitely need a PC, man. You are super speedy on Xbox. I can only imagine what's going to happen when you come over to PC and join this league, because we'd love to have you here, you and your brother. Adviata's here. Bare Necessities is here. I saw Lemon Lids earlier. So with everybody muted now, we can have a little conversation and keep it quiet. It's going to be an exciting race. We got to start calm and then back up afterward as we wait for the server to come back up here. Should really not deafen myself so I can hear Huff and let him let me know when the server's coming back up. Who's gonna win? Well, I don't know who all's there yet. I think I saw Foose on the list, so you know that team's been running with it, and Foose is wicked fast. But from what Huff was saying, you know, Zap put in a ton of practice. Zap's always been one of our fair to Midland drivers, I would say, right somewhere in the middle of the pack. But you never know; this could be his track. Let him jump up there. So certainly want to take a look and see. Once everybody gets in, we'll see if we can get in there and take a look, especially with qualifying coming in. We'll see if we can go ahead and run a poll. I don't know if that's possible. Yeah, it might be possible. We'll get it going. We'll get it going. All right, let's jump back in that Discord and see.
Cool.
Let me know when we're back up, Huff.
Should be back up now, man.
All right, perfect.
Green light, go, go, go.
Apologies. Had to real quick make some changes there. All right, let me see if we get this thing going again, and we will get this party started with 4 minutes left in free practice. Is Zap able to get in, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in.
He's in. As just Z. Got him a proper setup. You got him a proper setup, so he didn't have a proper setup? That's too bad. Although I have no proper setups either since the game updated, and all the setups I own are no longer any good, apparently. I do like that I get yellow flags now on people. Full paddock today with 30 drivers. Gonna be exciting. Absolutely can't wait to get this going. Bryn Evans back on track with us today. Ottens is in there. Remco ready to race. Fernando Gonzalez back in the BMW. Evan Silveris returns. And there he is, the one we were talking about, Tom Foose, will be on track today. along with Anthony Anderson in the Lexus. Jose Toledo in my favorite, the Audi. Jose pretty spry.
Car, man.
And the Audi
Like
Audi does okay around Spa. But we'll see. DJMG. Another Porsche to join Zaps. Justine Scheffer. Another BMW. Alan Hellman. Hailing from Brazil. Caleb Stevens. Clueless Geezer back out. Number 99 BMW as well. So many drivers. Again, 30, but just a huge paddock. Great to see this turnout. With just a minute and a half left to go in free practice. We're not even going to bother looking at those times because, well, not really going to matter. It's free practice, number one. Number two, nobody's going to, on a track like Spa, 5 minutes is barely enough time to set one lap. Nobody's going to be warmed up and running wall pace yet. Speaking of which, though, we will take a quick look at the map. That is Spa. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. Even Kevin Hoffman. It's his favorite.
I hate this track.
You hate this track?
I do, man. I really do. It's long and dull and boring with a couple of cool corners that are fun for like 2 seconds.
This is absolutely one of my favorites. 100% one of my favorite tracks.
All right, I believe that's the ballast applied to every M4. I don't think I missed any.
So what, now explain that. So 30 kilograms, right? So basically they're driving a full load of fuel the entire race.
Yeah.
Just trying to back them down a little bit.
Yep, we did the calculations. I don't recall the exact amount of fuel it is, but it's essentially like driving with just a little bit more fuel on board. So it's not a huge, weight, if you will, obviously, because it is a weight. It's not a huge disadvantage, but it'll slow them down a bit. Although some people prefer to drive the car with the ballast because it'll make it a little bit heavier, so it may stick a bit. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but not only that. I mean, in the testing you guys did, I think I remember somebody saying it only added 2/10, 3/10.
Yeah, and that's
lap times?
yeah. Which, I mean, yeah, it's 2/10, but when the car's already, a second and a half, roughly.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, it's so much. What we've seen so far this season is it is so much faster than the other cars. I don't think the ballast is going to hurt these guys a lot, but certainly going to make them adjust how they drive.
For sure.
To where, again, that little extra weight. Yeah, you talk about that. Some people prefer it because it does make it a little stickier, right? A little more weight down on the tires, but at the same time, it takes longer to slow down that much weight, right? So brake points have to be adjusted. So if these guys practiced all week without that extra ballast, there might not be, they might not be ready for what that's going to turn into once this race starts.
Yeah, for sure. There was a couple of guys that actually reached out during the week and asked, how they could practice with ballast, and I pulled them to the side. We kind of told them the admin commands on how to add the weight, and some of them did practice with the weight, so
that's good.
And a lot of guys jumped in it, and they were like, "Man, let me try it out. Let me switch to the M4, see how good it is." And they're like, "Man, this thing is fast. Even with weight, it's fast."
Excellent. Josh A in the chat says, actually had the pleasure of being in the passenger seat on this track for 6 laps in a BMW E3. Well, I am very jealous, sir.
Nice.
On my bucket list to go to the 24 hours of Spa. I don't know that I would ever get to drive around it if I went there for that weekend, but I would love to go to the event.
It is a beautiful track, and we have a 7 a.m. Race time start today, so it's going to be some pretty scenery with the sun coming up.
Yep,
a lot of shadows, a lot of trees.
Sun's going to be low and ready to go. What time's qual happen?
Same time, 7 a.m.
7 a.m. Okay,
yep.
Perfect. We get ready for today's race. Free practice running down. Drivers now pulled back to the pits.
Green light, give it all you can.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Mr. Dunn joining us today.
I have about 15 minutes, and I got to hop onto a meeting, but I figured I'd come chat with the
Why
dudes.
are you working on a Sunday?
If I tell you, I'd have to kill you, unfortunately.
Oh, You shouldn't work on
This
Sundays.
this is one of those kind of meetings. So.
Oh.
But I did want to hop in because we have a little bit of time here, and I know we've been talking quite a bit about like racing standards and kind of the culture of box. And it was actually, I think it's been a while since we talked about like how even the four of us in chat, even got into sim racing. Because I think we've had quite a few people struggle with: do you have to be super fast to be in box? If you are super fast, what kind of rights does that own you, or does that buy you? And if you're not fast, do you just quit?
Okay, so can I answer those questions in order?
Yeah, go for it.
No, none. And what was the last one? Do you quit? No. So no, none, and no. That's the answer to those questions. That's easy.
So with that in mind, Molson, like, because you started racing on Xbox, right, with us?
Yeah. Yep. I was.
How long ago was that?
Oh, it's been well over a year now, I think. With our previous league. Yeah, I think so. Maybe not.
Yeah, same thing for me. I started back in March, February, so we're almost coming up on a year. I started out on console and get more into it. I'm like, man, there's so much more you can do with a PC, so I decided to get a PC, and just the upgrades never stop, man. It's an addictive hobby for sure. But you don't have to take it that route, man. Just some people choose to.
Right. And I guess so for the both of you, what do you enjoy the most out of? Why do you stick around? What is it about sim racing that you keep racing for? Or mostly just stay around for?
Yeah, but for me, it's watching, right? Like, I mean, I have I've got the Fanatec CSLDD. I've got a Placey Challenge I sit in. I'm hoping I get a chance today to actually sit down and drive in VR a little bit and get that going. The problem is, for me, when it comes to the league races, I'd rather watch. I think we talked a little bit about it last week during the Silverstone Endurance. The stress for me of driving in a league race is just too much. I can't. And it's not about my racing. I know I'm slow. I get that. I don't have a problem with that. The issue I have is it takes one mistake on my part, and you look at someone like Zap, who Huff said earlier, has been practicing all week, has gained some speed, and is really looking good at Spa, and then someone like me comes along who's an idiot and makes one mistake, and suddenly I blow out his whole race. And that's the part I don't like. I don't want this thought of, you know, Dunn, you know, we play Tarkov together, and we do these things, these harder games that are not easy to be a part of.
They're psychopaths.
Because we like being punished. But the point being is that in those, it's only my own game that gets screwed up, right? It's only my own experience that gets screwed up. And with sim racing, particularly again in league races, because I still jump on and do public lobbies, or we do fun races together, things like that. But when it comes to league races, although there's no real money on the line, there's no, you know, it's bragging rights, and that's all it is within the league. I don't want to be the one that screws up someone else's race. I feel so bad about that action that it's very hard for me to get over. And that's why I'd rather sit back and watch when it comes to these. But that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told him that last night too. You know, he was very happy with the progress he made. Like I said, he did put in, you know, I won't say a lot of work, but he put in, you know, a decent amount of work to get faster at this track. You know, we had a friend of ours help coach him up last night, and I told him, I'm like, yeah, Zap, you've got faster, you know, you feel confident, but I said, don't go in tomorrow and like with higher hopes, you know, go in, race your race, because then you end up frustrated after all that hard work, after all that time you put in, ends up ruined in one turn. I'm like, man, just go and do your thing, have fun, don't push too hard.
Yeah, that was something I had to think about a lot when I first started racing. That was probably, September 2020, my God. Was just how frustrating it is to be the person who's put a bunch of practice in, and then someone who is less experienced or just more aggressive ruins your race in lap one. And so
but I will touch on that though, because like you know, we have a lot of pace here, and you know, varying pace in box, but we pride ourselves, and our drivers pride ourselves. You know, the slower guys, I'm not picking on them in particular, but they have good racecraft. You know, they know when to get out of the way. They know, you know, to leave space, to not brake late and dive bomb. So that's kind of a good thing. We do try to spread a good quality racing, even though you're not extremely fast.
Yeah, because I used to put in like 20 hours of work every week when like the depths of the pandemic and I had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I would put like 20 hours of practice in every week because I wanted to become pro in a former league. I wanted to be on the podium someday. And then one day out of nowhere, I won a race because of racecraft and because I was one of the only people to not mess up the pit stop. Molson, I'm sure you remember that, commentating that race.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, it was one of those things where it was very clear all of a sudden that like I was not the fastest guy on that track by probably a second and a half per lap. but it's doing the right thing for long enough and having patience with yourself is what makes a good league for all of us.
For sure.
It's the people who are
100%.
so anxious on track, and like whether you're new and anxious. And I remember like sitting in my rig at my desk at the time. I didn't have a rig yet. Like my hand shaking before the first race. Like holy shit!
Oh yeah, man.
Dude,
Oh, 100%, dude.
Yeah.
Like waking up 3 hours early to read all the Discord stuff to make sure I wasn't gonna miss the race and mess up practice and blah blah blah. And then now like I don't do that anymore, but I do like think a lot about who am I racing with, and the kind of the breakthrough points for me is like when I recognize someone like Poppy Keys or BK Ferrari, whatever his name is now, like people that I've been racing with for a year and a half. Like now this is about a friendly competition with them where we push each other hard, but I'm not gonna have to be anxious around Poppy Keys, and that buys me so much more fun and competition than racing with a bunch of strangers who I can't trust because they've been assholes on track for the past 2 hours in a 6-hour race.
Yep.
For sure. We talked about this last night, you know, Zap and, you know, Sean and myself, just talking about like league racing dynamics. You know, public lobby is different. You know, you got 20 random drivers, you know, some may have it's kind of a meme. We see a high ping red Ferrari, you know, it's like everybody look out. So but you know, you get, you know, if you get that guy in our league, you know, I'm looking at Santos and his name sticks out because his ping is yellow and he's a red driver. But you know, for us a red driver doesn't mean anything. That just means they're newer to our league and they're not part of the team event.
Right.
But you know, like I said, we're used to Santos. We know he's a solid driver, so you know, you just get familiar with racing around people and comfortable, and that makes, you know, racing with, you know, let's see here, what we got, 30 drivers, 29 drivers. That makes it that much more better. You're not claustrophobic and scared. It's more fun.
And
I think
I don't know.
you know,
I don't know how. Go ahead, Matt.
Well, I was just going to say, you know, and we talk so much about this, about community first and racer second.
For sure.
I want everybody to push each other, right? I want to see these guys racing close and pushing each other to be better, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with good competition. But at the end of the day, when that race is over, and that's why the community part to me is so important, because when the race is over, if somebody made a mistake, if somebody offed your race because they went a little deep into the corner at the end of the Kemmel Straight today and threw it off, I just think it's important that once the race is over, one, the person who caused that is willing to go into the Discord and say, hey man, look, I'm sorry, I slipped up and here's what happened. And two, the victim of that incident is also willing to say, hey, you know what, don't worry about it, dude, I appreciate the apology. And that's the end of it. It's done. It doesn't have to be a fight, it doesn't have to be an argument. If there's an incident, you report it, the stewards handle it, and we go from there. You know what I mean? It's and I think that's why that's so important to me, because I don't want to see people leave because they get angry because they got hit one time. Obviously, if you have a serial piss pounder that's hitting everybody in every corner in every race, that's different, right? That's got to be handled at the admin level for any league, right? You've got this one guy that comes in and just every race he's involved in an incident, and dude, what are you doing? Stop it. This is what you're screwing up. But these one-offs that happen during races, like, everybody's got to chill. Did you guys see the video I posted to the Discord earlier when I said y'all need some Aries in your life? Did you watch the video?
I've seen it, but I haven't had a chance to watch it.
It's like 2 hours long, but you can, if you look at the comments, there's a guy where he splits up, you know, by timestamp. You go in and watch it. Legend. I watched like the first arrow, which Aries Drive on YouTube, for anybody who doesn't know. This guy's fantastic. Shows you how to drive better, all these things. This guy's really good. He did like a 2-hour stream of why you're involved in incidents and how to stop. And the first thing he comes out, rule 1, he comes out and has that quote from Senna that says, like, whatever you pronounce that guy's name. I don't watch that kind of racing, so I don't know. You know, people are going to yell at me. But basically, the guy, he says, you know, the quote where if you're no longer shooting for the gap, you're no longer a race driver. And I loved it because I've seen that quote posted in the Discord before, and I've seen people say this. But here was his philosophy on that was, one, it's bullshit. And the reason he says it's bullshit is because no one in this league is Senna. Nobody. None of us are Verstappen or Hamilton. You're not that driver. So just because you don't take a gap does not mean that you're no longer a race driver, a sim racer, right? Learn how to drive in traffic and be respectful is basically what, and you watch this whole thing, he goes through and explains the math and why you got to brake different and how to practice and all this. Absolutely anybody that sim races should go watch this video. 100%. Because the guy shows you.
Yeah,
what
I
you
do
gotta
watch his stuff
so.
every now and then, but he's like the Barry, Sim Racing Garage. His videos are so long, but they're so informative. You have to
they are.
set aside, time to take it all in and actually respect it for what it is because they're so informative.
And I'm someone that I always like to back our way into the context of these conversations. And I think of someone like Max Verstappen, super aggressive F1 driver, gets shit on every week of are you kidding me? He actually did that and pulled it off and didn't ruin someone's race, or he did. And to think Max must have been karting since the age of 5. I don't know what the actual age was, but to think that he's been driving aggressively for probably 15, 20 years.
Exactly.
His approximation of what an actual gap is has to be so much more finely tuned than mine, because I have hit people over and over and over again because I don't understand. I am less skilled, and I have less of a career of taking, in order to become an F1 driver, you have to have taken those chances over and over again, and they pay off every time. If you're taking those chances and they're not paying off, that's a you problem.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Then the other side of the Senna quote is in the Schumacher quote, I think, which is in order to finish first, you must finish.
Yeah,
that's right.
And you have to do both, and that's I think what this league is about, is doing both. Is we got to get to the end of the race, folks, and I want you to push your buddies to the final centimeter of track.
100%.
Every inch of track.
Speaking of pushing buddies, we got Chiquetto taking pole now with a 2:19.44.
Yes.
Was just going to jump in there, and let's take a look at our times real quick. But you'll see he does not hold purple in any sector. Those numbers go to Kurtz, who's sitting in second right now with that 1:19.5. Holding sector 2, and Foos again holding sector 1 and 3, but currently sitting in 4th. Foos is fast, and this is what we talked. Chat was asking earlier, who's gonna win? Well, we don't know yet, but I will tell you, Foos is fast, and holding purple in sector 2. It just makes me wonder if, while not qualifying up in 1st or 2nd, is his overall pace going to be better with that that 2:19.8 during the course of this 45-minute race.
My pick is Evans. Look at him in there, that sneaky 3rd place, no purple.
Yeah,
Brent
I was
Evans
actually
with no
getting ready
purple?
to ask you guys. Let's all take a pick from each class. All right, rookie class, red drivers. Who's our pick gonna be?
Oh, red driver. Well, Chiqueto's up there right now. Chiqueto and Kurtz both sitting 1st and 2nd.
Yep.
I don't know. I think we've watched these guys in the past where, and again, that purple lap doesn't. When we talk about all the guys sitting at 2:19, I don't think the purple lap impresses me that much. And not to say that he's not faster than I am, absolutely he is. But I mean, hot lapping for qual is different than race, right? So I think if Chiquetto can get himself out in front and stay there up through Eau Rouge, he may run away with it. But again, we've seen Kurtz come back and able to capitalize depending on pit. So with no tires in this race, how much of it comes down to somebody goes in heavy and says, I'm not going to pit until as close to the end as possible. I'm going to do a dump and run with 1 liter of fuel that'll allow me, that clears my pit stop, but also lets me finish the race. If that's the strategy, I think with no tires, I mean, that's what? How long are gas stops, fuel stops only?
I mean, splash and dash 5 seconds, but you got to think, man, the pit entry to Spa is like a half an hour. So you go in there, you can make a sandwich, watch a TV show. And
there we see Kurtz just took pole with a 2:19.3 now, and did take sector 2 time over Chiqueto.
All right, boys, I got to run to this scary meeting, and I'll maybe be on after. But
all right, thank you, Dunn.
All the drivers, and keep chilling.
Appreciate it, man.
See you, bud.
And now Tom Foos jumps up into 2nd with a 2:19.335 to Kurtz's 3:20. And Tom takes purple in both sector 1 and 3.
Hey, you know what I like to see, though? I see Tobias Gebel there in P6 and the Lexus.
I see that, right?
A little diversity, man. He's quick here.
I'll tell you what, he is. We've seen.
He surprised me with how fast he is, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Really
you and I have seen him in a former league where and now granted it was on Xbox, right? It was not on PC. It was on Xbox. But again, much like I would say almost like Zap, kind of a fair to Midland driver arriving in the middle of the pack somewhere. Maybe within, definitely within the top 10, but probably the back half, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. To see him consistent now, and he's put himself up there ahead of some of these BMWs, which we know are owning every track since release, I think is fantastic. And I just need to say, DT Bubs, get Tarkov'd yourself, scrub. Thank you.
All right, but I'm going to go ahead and take my pick for the rookie class. Let's see here. I'm
right.
probably I want to say Chiquetto, but I'm rooting for Yannick there. He's got an amazing time at 2:19.3 on a fast track, mind you no less. So I hate to go with him just because he got pole, but I think he's going to fare well at this track.
All right, so you're going to go with Kurtz?
Yep.
All right, well, I'll stick with Chiquetto then.
Okay.
We'll see how we do.
How much are we putting on it?
Nothing, because I don't spent all my money this morning. So.
All right, silver driver. That's a toss-up between Brian Evans and Tom Foose. I mean, that can go either way.
Yeah, Foose is fast, man. And the thing with Foose is I think he's consistent.
For sure.
I think he's really got the consistency, so I'm going to have to go with Foose.
I think I would not argue with you on that. The M6 is kind of more conducive to this track. It's got a beefier engine. You know, it's better top end. Although the M4 is going to be great around sector 2 here. Well, the S's, the turns, it shines in that section. Whereas the M6 will do better. Up the Eau Rouge, up the long sweeping left-hander. What is that turn called? I always forget the name of it. Forgive me, somebody in chat, tell me how stupid I am. No, that's the turn 2 and 3 essentially. That's the uphill section, but it's the downhill left-hand sweeper. Anyway, that turn.
No, I can't. I don't memorize turn names, Huff. I'm too old for.
All right, so we got our pick for rookie. We got our pick for silver.
Yep. Yeah, I got to go with.
Slide on down to the AM class here, the silver drivers.
So right now, DJ,
I think this one's a no-brainer for me.
Is just blowing out. I mean, he's blowing out some of the others as well. From our rookies and pros. That's so the next silver driver behind him is sitting in 17th, which is David Soul in the McLaren. Yep,
I'm definitely gonna go ahead and lock in DJ. I'm gonna bet the house, the farm, everything. Yeah, he's crushed it, man. I hate to say that we outclassed him. As David Soul takes that spot from him, love to see it. That's great, right on cue.
And Bryn Evans now jumps up into first with a 2:19.1. So already,
but seriously, man, DJ's done a great job. I'm happy for him. He's improved drastically.
And this is part of it too. Like, we got to focus on not just like these guys at the top, but I love focusing on people like Clueless Geezer.
Yes.
Right? Clueless is a goofball, man. But I'll tell you
Great guy.
But I'll tell you what, he's come in and he has improved. I mean, currently sitting in 19th with a 2:22.2. This is about where I would be if I were racing, if I could get used to PC racing or actually have time to do it when I'm not being in Tarkoved. But gets out on track, takes it really seriously, not overly so, but just goes out there and tries to drive his best race and continues to do well. So again, you see somebody like this in the Discord who is just a goof ass, but yet comes in here and does a really good job, right? Like, just races well. So
as Brian now takes pole with a 2:19.16.
I said that already.
Feeling that from Yannick. Did you really? I must have missed it. I'm sorry.
You missed it. You weren't listening.
Bryn Evans crushing it.
There you go. Bryn Evans up there in first. Kurtz in second right now with just over a minute left to go in qualifying today. Tom Foose in third with Hellman in fourth. And Tobias Gebel. We have a DQ.
Chiquetto? Why?
Driving the wrong way.
Oh, he's taking the back start. That's for him.
We got another one too. Hellman just got...
Well. What are they doing? Are they doing this on purpose? Guys, come on. Is this your way of sandbagging?
Yeah, but they're DQ'd. They're not... I mean, you just do a pit start if you want to start in the pits. Why are you DQing yourself?
It's going to put them to the back of the pack.
Yeah, it eliminates their time.
Yep. So they will start the race from P29 and P30 respectively.
Got you.
I wonder if that was on purpose. I'm curious.
You can, yeah. I mean, penalties can be cleared if it was done by accident, but given it was one right after the other, I have to wonder.
Yeah. I think they're looking to challenge themselves a bit, and it's great having them around because it really pushes our normal drivers, the non-esports drivers, to keep up with them. You know what I mean? And it helps them keep fresh too, so they're prepared for SRO and the high level esports that they partake in. So it's a win-win situation here.
Yes.
All right, but to touch on Clueless, sorry to interrupt you there.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, no, that's
improved his consistency. That's the biggest thing for me.
That is, and I think we've seen that happen. You know what I mean?
Yep. And
The
Tom
M-
stole pullback? Wow.
So
dude.
Huff, Lemon is asking, Huff, I thought we were giving ballast to M6 on high-speed tracks. I thought it was just the M4.
Yeah, the vote was just for the M4.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can see there, 7,000s. I don't think, it needs a ballast. We know Tom's a solid driver, so I think it's going to be pretty fair here.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's been the one M6 up in the top finishers.
Yep.
Surrounded by M4s the whole season thus far.
I can't wait till next season just to get rid of this car so it eliminates the controversy. Does it get ballast? Does this guy get ballast? Does this guy do? Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, I get it, I understand, but it's just a nightmare.
Well, Huff, I got a question for you. I posed this question to Red yesterday, in a private conversation, and I'll put it right out here on stream because maybe folks in the chat would want to chime in. I know a lot of our drivers are in the chat. I think it'd be good to hear what they think as well. This is just an idea. This was me spitballing. This was me having thoughts yesterday. What if for season 2, we started to align the league races more in line with GT World Challenge?
Well,
and what I mean by that is sprint races are 1 hour, endurances are 3, and maybe we do a 24.
dude,
or a 6.
Not against that. I love the longer race format. I really do.
Red's concern was a lot of guys might not want to do 3 hours, to which I said, well, I don't know if they still do. I haven't watched in a few years. It's been a while because I've been doing other things. When it was the Blancpain GT series, right, there was a separate sprint cup and endurance cup. So not every driver participated in every race. You know what I mean? Like they didn't have to, the teams didn't have to participate in the endurance if they didn't want to, basically.
Right.
So I'm wondering, would that be an option for, again, just a thought to throw out there for people. So,
well, dude,
Alex,
I'll be honest with you. I'm not opposed to it. I love the longer races myself. I kind of prefer those versus the, the 20-minute, 45-minute standard.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, I can't start a poll. Oh.
But we did base our calendar this season off of the Real Life GT World Challenge, just with a couple.
Did you? Okay.
Little changes here and there. So
yeah, that was, again, it was just a thought that I was doing something yesterday. I don't remember what. I might have been prepping for today's racing. I'm like, I wonder if we should do that. You know, Alex Witho in the chat says my CSLDD comes tomorrow. It's like Christmas Eve for me. I can't sleep. What are you on now, Alex? What have you been driving with? Nothing, or are you coming from like a G920, or what are you coming from?
Good for him, though.
Oh yeah, 100%. Awesome. So again, right there, folks, you see it. Tom Foose will start on pole with Bryn Evans in row 1. Yannick Kurtz in row 2 with Tobias Gable, and Sheffer will start in row 3 with Athwal and Ottens in row 4. Row 5, Thomas and Santos. That's your top 10. We do have 30 drivers on track today. And taking a look there, Tom Foose, again, really consistent driver with a 219.085 and holding purple in sectors 1 and 3. Bryn Evans, though, 0.6 of a second faster in sector 2. It's interesting. That's a lot of time for Tom to be leaving in the sector, in sector 2.
That's M4 OP-ness, man.
Yeah.
Wait, what? That didn't sound right. Come again?
I don't like that. I don't like whatever you just were talking about. I don't like it. Take it back.
It's overpowered. How about we just say that?
Yeah,
we'll stop there.
Sure.
Wow.
The full formation lap coming. Session start in just 47 seconds. I want to thank everyone again for being here. If you are not a member of BoX3 Motorsports, you should definitely consider it. Exclamation box in the chat. We'll get you a link to our Discord. If you are a sim racer, you are more than welcome to come join us. All skill levels, all abilities. I don't care if you have never sim raced and say, you know what, I want to get into it. What do I have to do? Come join the Discord. Somebody over there is going to help you. 100%. Someone is going to help you. You don't have to do league races right away. Maybe you do some fun races with us. I'd like to get if I can get my VR working, I'd really like to be able to start doing some fun races with y'all on PC. I won't do league races just because, one, I cover them, two, I really need to get used to it first before I throw it out there. But I would 100% join for some fun races if I can get that working the way it's supposed to. Here we go for our formation lap to start today's race. Again, Tom Foose, Bryn Evans up front. Give everyone a bit of a tour on the front of Tom's car heading around Spa. Again, one of my favorite tracks, coming out of Radio onto the Kemmel Straight. How big is the physics difference between console and PC at the moment? It's huge, I would say.
Ridiculous.
And yeah. I don't say that from experience. I just say that from talking to people like Kevin and like Red, who have driven on both. And with PC now on the 1.8 update versus console not getting that until February, I know Red and Kevin have both said it's a huge difference. The changes 1.8 brought are gigantic. So
yep, they
really
definitely are. And I haven't raced on console in a long time now. I don't miss it. I mean, it was great for what it was, but once you see the light, it's hard to go back, man. Yeah. It really is.
Well, and I would say also that it's what do I want to say? I will tell you this. I know just from the little bit of PC driving I've done, that CSLDD feels so different on PC than it does on console, dude. Like, unbelievable. I always felt like I was floating on console, right? There's no real force there. There's no... you can turn the wheel as far as you want. It doesn't matter. It just goes in a circle. On PC, it's like you're driving a car. You have to put some force behind the wheel to get it to do what you want it to do.
Yeah. You know, one thing I noticed too, like, well, you know, moving from a TMX Thrustmaster to my Magic Alpha, is like, it's the small things that you really don't think you would ever feel or want to feel or need to feel. But like, all right, I'll give you an example. We were messing around in Spa last night, and I spun my car. You know, I was just pushing a bit too hard, so I spun out, and my tires kind of got flat spotted. And dude, you could feel that in my wheel. It was like vibrating. You know, like
really?
I could feel like it pulsating, just a little side to side action. Like you could definitely tell that the tires were kind of flat spotted.
Well, what amazed me is like the hitting a curb on PC. So if you're only used to Xbox, driving on Xbox or PlayStation, the curbs, you kind of get a little tiny vibration on the wheel from the curbs.
Yep.
Right? And I'm not talking sausage curbs. I'm talking regular.
You mean like the serrated, you know, like the...
Yeah, the serrated curbs, like, you know, you would hit. You would maybe feel a little bit, tiny bit.
Yep.
Yo, I'll tell you what, you hit them on PC, all there.
Bro, you can feel each up and down undulation.
Oh, yeah, dude, 100%. And it is fantastic.
Yo.
Y'all making me want to drive. My kid just took the VR upstairs, which means it won't be charged after this race is over, and I'm going to be upset.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, it happens.
So how do you feel about driving this game in VR? I've tried it a little bit.
I'm gonna be okay with it because it's really my only option right now, right?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of, I'm using a Quest 2 headset tied to the PC. Yep. There's a little bit of screen door action, but I think, you know, I went and did a look up on some settings and different things you can do to try. I will say my frame rate is solid. I can pull 90 to 100 frames. So that part, you know, and I think I have it set to 72 hertz, so which is fast enough. That's really not the issue. Really what was bugging me more than anything was the little bit of screen dooring I was getting. But I think I just need to spend some time with it, and I think I'll be okay. I do think I'll be okay. With the resolution high, or with the frame rate, I should say, high enough, it was running fine. I should be okay. And I'm on a 3060 Ti. So that should tell you there, depending on what you get, I think most people could run in VR if they wanted to, with a modern RTX card.
Zap's quality time was a 222 flat, to answer that question, Piner.
Oh, sorry about that. I did not
You're
see
good, buddy. 222 flat.
As we come through the bus stop, which apparently is no longer referred to the bus stop, I'm just a leftover old man.
What do they call it now?
I don't know. Just the final corner or something. Weird. So what is interesting about Spa is we just saw them go over the start-finish line. However, not for the first lap. The start-finish line is on the opposite side of the pits after they go through La Source and come around the corner. But lap times after that start getting counted at the line we just crossed.
Yep.
It's very strange at Spa. As we
still
come down.
A fast track. Keep that in mind.
Excellent. Here we go. Gonna hit Eau Rouge lap 1, T1. Eau Rouge into Radion and up to the Kemmel Straight, folks. Get ready. It's racing. GT3. You're watching BoX3 Motorsports. My name is Adam. Joined by Kevin Huffman. Let's go driving this Sunday afternoon. And we are off down the hill. We've got two
Already
pit
piling
starts.
single file up front. Like to see it. Not pushing too wide. Clean up front for me.
Absolutely, as we come back
Well
through.
done.
Nice clean start to today's race. Some position changes happening already. Tobias Gable up into 4th, was able to get around Fernandez.
Excellent start.
Great start for him as he goes wide at the end of the straight. We're going to be able to hold that position. Nice tight racing around the carousel into the corner with no name. What did I do here? Oh, there we go. Well, side by side coming back down the hill. Kevin Silveris able to jump up now, claiming P16 as Tom
He
Foose.
looks like he had a good start too, man. He's up
Absolutely.
to 23rd already. Well, he was dead last, and he's up 7 spots. Good for him.
Excellent. Chief Blaze showing in 24th right now, moving up. Tom Foose able to hold pole and keep it so far with Bryn Evans right there.
That's going to be a great battle to watch, man. Just in their
Oh,
respective
100%.
sectors where they shine. These cars, it's going to be a great dynamic back and forth.
Again, Tobias Gable holding on, getting himself up into P4 around Fernandez and holding on to it as well. As we come to the end of lap 1 of this 45-minute race. Justine Sheffer leading them into the bus stop.
Looks like a car off on the
getting
inside,
tight.
no name.
Yep.
27, car number 27. That would be Tom Foose. Unfortunate for him.
Oh, yeah, it is.
What happened?
Go back on a replay real quick and see as we come around into the bus stop. See what happened. If we can see what happened to Tom. He did drop back to 13th now. And a push from Bryn is what caused that.
Ooh, solid push.
Solid push from Bryn Evans. Too bad for Tom too, and certainly gonna cost Bryn some time with the incident reporting. We jump back to live. Bryn Evans now up front. Yannick Kurtz holding purple so far. Now again, that's that first lap, so a 2:52.3 doesn't really count for much, but currently running in second. Tobias Girdle up into 3rd with Fernandez in 4th and Justin Sheffer in 5th.
I'll tell you what's going to be fun to watch, man. Chiquetto and Hellman, both. I think they had to have done that on purpose, man. They went to the back of the field.
Well, he's already they're both into 18
They're
and
already
19
and 18, man. They're just going to follow, you know, they're going to tandem all the way up to the front of the pack.
For sure.
How long
Tom
does it take
Foose now getting himself up into 12th, looking to claw his way back up. Let's take a look at Justin Sheffer leading ahead Athwal right now. Trying to play defense around the bottom of the hill.
Wait, is Zapp in the pits already? He is currently driving through the pits now. I wonder what happened with him.
Floriano as well in the pits.
Yeah. Oh, Floriano looks beat up, man. His car looks rough. I don't see anything on the rear. Zapp looks
Zapp had a
around the
lap
front
on
here.
it.
Rough.
I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 7 reports so far. And Athwal makes the play and gets ahead of Sheffer. Able to pull up into 5th now. Sheffer dropping back. Otten's right there with him. And Otten's now looking to take that position.
Let's go, Remco. He's a new M4 driver this week, too. He said, screw it, I'll take the ballast. This car is just that good.
Really? Well, and I forget what I was watching, or who I was talking to. But basically, you know, Kunos in developing this game, goes for realism. The M4 hasn't been on track yet. There is no balance of performance for it. It doesn't exist. So it's going to be like that until SRO comes out and puts a BOP on the thing.
Yep.
You know, it is what it is, unfortunately. Go back and take a look. Santos now, Thomas, both Santos and Thomas pushing up on the back end of Sheffer. See if you can catch him down through Carousel. Unfortunately, Tom Foose now into the pits early. Got yellow flags on both Givens and Geezer right now. Both drivers off track and losing position very quickly. As Justin Sheffer continues to lead the pack of Santos and Thomas, and Soul now joining all within a second. Bryn Evans doing his best. It's still Kurt, you know, he's pulled ahead a little on Kurt, still within a second, but that now back down to 7/10 up front. Continue to keep an eye on that. You know that replay we watched of Bryn, it's and I said it earlier about posting the video from Aries Drives.
Yeah.
Almost classic of the first thing he talks about is if you're behind someone, you know, and you're both driving racing speed, you absolutely cannot use your standard braking point.
Not at all, man.
You have to brake where they do, and then learn to modulate your brakes to keep the gap as closed as possible. And I know sitting here, we all look at that and go, well, yeah, duh. But we just saw it happen. And I guarantee that's what happens, right? Bryn's concentrating on driving. He sees his brake point. He hits it, not necessarily even realizing that Foose is right there and it's too late, right? It's one of those things, and that's why those kinds of accidents happen. And that's why when I do practice offline, I practice as basically in AI races, and I put myself on the back end of an AI driver. I make them slower than me on purpose, and I put myself on the back end, and I practice that brake modulation. I think it's important.
It is, dude. It definitely is.
Kurt's now closing the gap down to 3/10 behind Bryn Evans. Like Chicato now
Wilson,
going side by side with DJ.
Oh, sorry to cut you off. Yeah.
No. Chicato making the play up the straight and able to take the inside of that corner and hold it all the way through. Bringing himself up into 13th. Currently holding purple with a 2:19.6. Chicato now up into 13th.
He leave his buddy behind, Hellman? Where is he at?
Hellman is sitting... Where is Hellman? Yeah.
They were back, you know, like right on each other.
I don't even see Hellman on my list anymore. And we are down to 28 drivers.
Rough. Disconnect.
So possible disconnects. Possible gave up. I don't know why he'd give up. He did it to himself. Let's take a look at Rudolph Marin now under attack from Caleb Stevens as well. Fighting for 19th. Marin the McLaren. Chief Blaze now a yellow flag and losing position quickly. Remco Otten's now leading a pack of Sheffer, Santos, Thomas, and Soul. Trying to get himself pulled away. The gaps are opening up a little bit. Gerald Butts now into the pits, bringing Tom Foose back up into 25th. So Chicato again in 13th, but holding the fastest lap. You don't see that too often. So I'm sorry, what were you going to say, Kevin? I apologize.
That's okay. I was just going to comment on, you know, we were talking about DJ's improvement in racecraft and such. I think that was a case of just him realizing who was behind him and just conceding.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I would 100% do the same thing.
I mean,
I know where I stand, man.
You know, folks watching that don't necessarily sim race might not realize that when you're in a league, you get to know, and we have a pit driver coming out, leaving the pits now. We'll see how that goes with Soul and Thomas now in 9 and 10, and that did not work out. Let's rewind that clock real quick.
Oh,
coming down through Eau Rouge. What happened here?
Caught the tail end of it.
Oh, right there.
I just lost it coming up.
Yeah, he lost it. He hooked. Yeah, he hooked coming up. Yep, he hooked coming up, and now both drivers into the pits as we take a look back up front. Evan's still under pressure from Kurtz. So,
yeah, imagine.
Well, here's the thing. As long as he held his brakes, what are you going to do? The car's going to fly. There's only so much.
Bro, he was in the air.
He was. I mean,
brakes don't do any good when you're in the air.
And that's the thing. I'll tell you what. The inside of Radeon, you want to stay off, because if you hook that curb just wrong, you are going for a ride. You're, and you're not controlling it, too, especially if you're trying to go up there full speed. You're not going to maintain that kind of control that you need to stay out of people's way. I'm sorry. Now, what were we saying?
Stuff and things. We're just
yeah.
So, how was your day? Yep.
It was good.
Pretty good.
It was good.
Nice.
Good day. But Tobias
up in P3. Look at us.
P3 right now.
On the same call.
Right. Fernandez and Athwal right there behind him, but so far Gable able to run his race. He's really had no problems to this point.
Yeah, Brenna's under heavy pressure. Yannick is not giving it up. Aren't those two buddies, like, don't they do the karting together? Is that who I'm thinking of? Or no, it's Yannick and Sheffer that do the karting together. That's right.
Oh, okay.
But Bren does karting as well, so...
So, Chiquedo now forcing himself around. Chiquedo now able to make the pass on Anderson. Now just 7 seconds back from Jose Toledo. We'll see how this works out. Or no, I'm sorry. I take that back. No. He's catching up on Toledo right now. Toledo 7 seconds back from Santos, however. They have a back
That's a clean livery on Jose. Little box 3 blue and gray Audi. I like it. It's clean.
Athwal now as well, able to get around Fernandez and will become the new pressure on Tobias.
Are they going too wide up Radeon? Chiquedo and Toledo?
Here we go. Yes, we are. Toledo holding on for now, going out to the outside, but able to maintain thus far. This is the battle to watch. Anderson right there with him, going side by side with Chiquedo. Anderson able to squeak ahead. Let's see who holds it coming off the straight. There.
That's just the racecraft and knowledge of Chiquedo, realizing Toledo was a little far left and he could have possibly bounced on the curb there at Radeon like we saw the previous lap. So he just decided to... I'm sure he lifted a bit. He saw it coming. I'll get him next turn, he says.
Now Chiquedo and Anderson battling behind Toledo. I'm willing to bet Toledo wishes that, you know, they would just fight each other and leave him alone at this point.
I know, right? Yeah, he's going to make that one stick, for sure. Good pass.
Not driving.
All into the next one, he says.
Yep, Chiquedo now able to get ahead of Jose Toledo. Now has a 9-second gap up to Santos. Santos, second off of Sheffer's pace. Let's take a look back up front. Again, Tobias really able to run on his own. Evans and Kurtz pulling away from him, but his main concern right now, David Athwal right behind him. I'm sorry, Dimitri Athwal. Toledo and Anderson now going to make a battle of it. Anderson in the Lexus.
Gang.
That's it, a gang? Is that what that is? It's a gang now?
Lexus gang. We are a gang. There's only like 5 of us, so we got to stick together, man.
How many? Dude, there's like one Audi on the whole track. I don't want to hear it. This is why everybody gives up on my car.
You are right.
I don't care what anybody says. Audi's the sexiest vehicle out there.
It is nice, and they sound amazing. I think they're fun to drive, too.
I'm sure they are. Athwal now closing that gap up down to just 0.2 of a second.
Again, continues to push it on Brian too, man. They are
he is not giving him any space to breathe, that's for sure.
All right, John, reading the chat here. Let's see. Zap had a little incident. He went into the pits, fixed damage, and we believe that Hellman did disconnect.
And taking a look back, Toledo's still under assault from Anderson, and Anderson gets the pass. Go back and take a quick look at that. Got there just in time. And down the hill, Anderson going wide with it, pushing Toledo inside. A little bit of a nudge though. Little bit of a bump. Toledo, yep, gives it back. There was some bumping and grinding. Nice to see him hand that back.
For sure.
And my boy
That's
Blue,
one of those, hey, you know, one thing happens, you know, it does happen, little contact here and there, but it's nice to see him give it back. That's
yeah.
The right thing to do, for sure.
100%. Watching now, my boy Blue under attack from Caleb Stevens.
This red runs a little wide there.
Red going way wide.
I was trying to be nice. I said a little, you said way. Easy.
He gets what he...
He's about to unmute himself.
Right.
Listen here. Wait till I get this straight so I can find my button.
Toledo now again gonna have to continue to play defense to Anderson and DJ. But thus far holding that Audi in P10.
I'll tell you though, the battle for P1 through 4 is, dude, they're tight. You know, you got 3 and 4 back and forth, and then 1 and 2 are back and forth, and there's, you know, roughly, say, a half a second waiting for sector update in between the 2 packs. So
yeah, they keep tightening right up. It's just amazing to see now that I'm seeing over 1 second gaps up front now. So Athwal falling back a little bit from Gable. Anderson now making the move. Toledo side by side. Toledo again able to stretch it out and keep the position for now. As we come down the hill, Anderson's got, it looks like he's tightening it up, got speed on him coming into that long sweeping left. I hate that corner so much. Toledo trying to hold on and going to keep the inside this time. Got a yellow flag on Russo behind them. Oh, and Toledo goes into the dirt a little bit. Might give Anderson his move right up the... Oh, and a bit of a... Anderson... Now that's twice. That's the same spot the last lap. Anderson's trying to make that dive bomb stick, and it's not working. As we watch DJ go way wide. Taking the Red Rider route. But able to maintain speed and gonna get around Toledo now. These guys are pushing. So DJ now up into 10th. Toledo in 11th. Anderson right there, however. As Toledo tucks that bumper right up under DJ's wing. Take a look. Tobias Gable now under attack as well from Athwal again. Coming up the straight. Athwal gonna fade wide. And gonna get in on him around that. What a pass.
That was a good pass.
Excellent pass on Athwal's part. That was fantastic. Nothing against Tobias, but that was a fantastic pass. Outside and then cuts it back in. Take P3.
I have a feeling he's not going to let that one go. He'll be back.
Tobias? Yeah, no.
Ooh.
A little wide,
Tires
though.
let go a little bit here.
Yeah, I saw that slide.
All right, Molson, I hate to cut you short, buddy, but I gotta take off, man. I got some things I gotta do.
You gotta leave me? You're gonna leave me?
I do. I know.
Oh, okay. It's all right.
life
Yanaki,
and stuff.
welcome in.
Thing.
No problem, man. I got this. Just under 25 minutes left to go in today's race. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate you being here, my man.
Yes, sir. Good luck, man.
Always. And come next week, maybe we have another commentator up in here with us. And you know, if one of us needs a day, we need a day. No big deal, my bud.
Sir. All right.
Have a good one, my man. Later, bud. We'll take a look back up front. 24 and a half minutes left to go. Bryn Evans currently leading with Yannick Kurtz right there. He's been applying pressure throughout this entire race. We're currently on lap 8. And just absolutely holding it down. His, you know, the best laps between these two, to give you guys an idea, Bryn Evans' best lap is a 219.760. Kurt's best lap, 219.765. So literally best laps, 5 thousandths of a second separating these guys on their best laps. And even the last lap, we look at Kurt's, you know, hit a 219.570 on his last. So he's brought that down. Meanwhile, Bryn with an 897 has slowed a little bit. So obviously given Kurtz the ability to catch this up, close this gap. We're now down to within a tenth of a second. And let's see where we land coming up the straight. We might see the same action here, going wide. Not able to hold it though. Kurtz looking to go inside. Bryn gonna hold on. But we saw that, what, Apex? Saw you hooked that inside corner going up through, coming up through radio. Tobias Gable now takes P4 back from Fernandez, but we're gonna stick with this battle right here for P1. Kurtz looking to continue to close that gap on Bryn Evans. Waiting for his opportunity. These guys both running 219s consistently in race conditions. Gonna tuck it in as we come up to the bus stop. Gonna be who breaks last. It just goes to show how close these guys are keeping it now. Bryn Evans, Yannick Kurtz playing it tight up through La Source, ready to head back downhill. Bryn going very wide there. Not very wide, but wide enough. May give Kurtz the opportunity he needs going into Eau Rouge. Not quite though. Bryn able to hold on. Tobias Gable again under attack coming up through from Fernandez, Ottens, and Scheffer now. As he looks to stretch it out. Ottens able to make the move on Fernandez and get around. He will become Tobias's new nemesis. Kurtz pushing very hard here. Again, just waiting for that one slip up, that one opportunity to find that gap he can slip through. But thus far, Evans just not allowing it. Tom Foose now a yellow flag. Tom Foose, one of our top contenders for today's race. Pushed by Bryn Evans into the bus stop. So, Rogerio Santos now under attack from Chiqueto. Chiqueto having trouble up front as well. Ended up slipping way back and having to go into the pits. Now has gotten himself up into 9th place and is going to have a chance and move up into 8th right here. We will keep an eye on that battle up front between Evans and Kurtz as well. Remember, Chiqueto's still holding a purple lap of the 219.1. As we go side by side to the bus stop, Chiqueto on the inside and able to take that, now moves up. Tobias Gable with a problem heading into the pits, hopefully just to clear that mandatory stop. Hey, Dolan, welcome in. Thank you for being here. And Chiqueto now claiming P7 with Tobias heading into the pits. Brandon Evans still holding first as we go around one more time. We see the cars bounce up over radio. Just a fantastic corner. And Mayer receiving a stop go 30 in the pit lanes. Lato now heading into the pits, giving Silveris a bump. It always gets difficult to monitor position changes during the pit stops, which is happening now with so many drivers going in. The arrows fly and you got to look. The times get close as they sit in the pits next to each other. Kurtz closing in once again. Just great having a battle right here up front for today's race. Kesar now, Rob Kesar under attack from Anderson. Currently fighting for P9. Anderson doing his best to catch that Lexus, and there he goes as Kesar heads into the pits. Again, this becomes the story. These guys run close, and then one of them decides that they're, it's time to go in. Toledo as well, pulling a stop go 30. Not going to help at all, and especially here at Spa, a stop go 30, I think, is basically at 97 seconds of time lost. That is almost an entire lap. I mean, that's an insane amount of time to be stuck for a stop go 30. This is the track where you just absolutely do not want to pull that penalty, even just a drive-through. Right, never mind a stop go. I mean, a stop go 30, you're sitting for 30 seconds and then get to go again. Just a drive-through is going to cost you a huge amount of time. A huge amount of time. So another story here now with, again, pit stops happening and everything. Remco Otten's now up into 4th under pressure from Fernandez and Scheffer. But Remco doing quite well today. Polito quitting on us. I no longer see him on the list. Tom Foose has gotten himself back up into 13th at this point. Chicato currently running in 7th. Remco, Fernandez, and Sheffer all opting to stay out. Thus far, Silvares now with a stop go 30 as well. A lot of penalties being thrown at Spa. Just under 15 minutes left to go in today's race. I do want to thank everybody again for joining me. My name is Adam. Call me Molson FL if you'd like. Here a little earlier was Kevin Hoffman, Red Rider, Chief Blaze, Mr. Dunn. Get back up front now, closing to within 1/10 of a second. Kurtz is right there again. So seeing now we've had at least 3 penalties thrown at this point, right? Which just goes to show you cannot speed in the pits and the game will catch you. It will catch you. And Silvares showing that penalty coming up. So hard to take your battle off your eye off the battle for first when these guys are running so close this entire race. Very little else going on right now. Again, Fernandez still under pressure from Sheffer. And Chief Blaze under pressure from DJ right now. DJ in the Porsche heading around. We'll get around Chief Blaze. It looks like Russo able to get around as well coming into the bus stop. We jump back up front. Kurtz going for the move here. Is he going to swing it out into the bus stop and try and make it on the outside? Brent pushes out in a little bit and holds it. Kurtz just waiting for that launch, knowing that's all he needs. Chicato now up into 7th. What's going on here? We got a battle going on. Chicato now up in the 6th with folks going into the pits. Athwal into the pits. Sheffer into the pits. You can see the car just rocking up through radio, just scary, scary, scary. You know there's a little bit of wiggle there that he is feeling on the wheel as he tries to maintain as much speed as possible heading up that hill. Right now, Bryn Evans, Kurtz, Ottens, Fernandez, Chicato, and Santos all yet to clear pit stops. So the top 6 drivers still haven't cleared that pit, that mandatory pit. It's going to be a game of chicken here as to who's going to hold on for the longest, right? We know they all have to stop. Chicato now up into 4th, getting around Fernandez. Yep, splash and dash. We're going to see who splashes and dashes the fastest. Although, with the number of penalties we've seen today, I would encourage all the drivers to be careful about speeding in the pits. Because ain't nothing going to lose you a race like a stop-go 30 at Spa. Clueless Geezer moving up into 7th now, with pit stops clearing for folks. Take a look real quick as we continue to watch this battle. Bryn Evans up front with Kurtz still behind him. We've been watching that battle this whole race. Remco Ottens now running in 3rd with Fernandez in, Chicato in 4th and Fernandez in 5th. You can see this continues to change rapidly. Chicato now getting up on the back end of Remco Ottens. Pushing very tight heading into the bus stop. Tight in at La Source and then swinging back out to get as much speed as possible out of the corner. We'll stay on board with Chiqueto as he heads up into Eau Rouge and Radion, and then we need to go check on our leaders because it looks like they are side by side. Oh, little nudge from Bryn Evans as Kurtz tries to get around. Chiqueto and Otten's now side by side through the same corners right behind him. Chiqueto able to pull out and hold on to it. Clueless Geezer in 7th, currently a yellow flag. We'll take a look back as we watch these two side by side through the corners. Just amazing. Catching back up with our leaders, Bryn Evans, Yannick Kurtz. Cato now getting himself into 3rd with Ottens and Fernandez right there. Take a look back here. Caleb Stevens under pressure from your boy Blue. Blue under pressure from Butts. Lemon, I would not disagree. There's a huge cut right there. It looks now as though Kurtz has headed into the pits. So Kurtz heads in along with Fernandez, dropping them back to 5th and 6th respectively. Bryn Evans now running by himself out front, but will still need to make that pit stop. 100% Nil still needs to get into the pits, along with Chiqueto as well. Still need to make that. So now our top 5 have not dropped. Kurtz is in now and will be sliding back. But again, our top 4 drivers all need to make that mandatory pit stop with just under 7 minutes left to go in today's race. Isar under pressure from Anderson now in the Porsche. I don't know that he didn't need to do that just to avoid an incident, that, you know what I mean, that he didn't need to stay inside. However, if you're going to do that and you know you're off track like that, you probably behooves you to just, you know, give that spot back. Just give it back. Take a look back up front. Bryn Evans, Chiqueto running in 2nd, now 10 seconds off the pace. Bryn all by himself, but is going to have to get into the pits here soon. If not this lap, going wide through the bus stop, and looks like he's going to take that pit dive, which will clear that yellow flag, allowing Chiqueto to move up. Chiqueto now, again, is still needing to clear that stop, along with Ottens and Santos. Tobias Gable now moving himself back up into 8th position. They had him in 3rd at one point. Otten's now into the pits as well. And James Bessing having some issues. The front of that Lexus not looking good at all. However, I'm not going to jump back on a replay on that because we need to go take a look at Sheffer, who has Tobias and Fernandez and leading them a merry chase. Huff, I don't want to shout out to someone who's drinking and driving during a league race. Come on now. Rob Kasar continues to lead Anderson down. Boy, Blue now getting ahead of G Butts. I know, that's what I figured. We only drink and drive on Friday nights and only occasionally anymore. Everybody left me. It made me sad. I also play Tarkov too much. Jeffer again being put under pressure by Tobias Gebel and Fernandez. Otten's now heading into the pits, allowing Kurtz to get back up into third. We take a look. Santos still needing to clear his pit along with Chiqueto, so it may allow Kurtz to get right up front. Now we watched Chiqueto start this race at the back and has now gotten himself all the way into first. However, he still hasn't taken that pit stop, nor has Santos. So Kurtz is currently sitting in third with a cleared stop. I mean, look, Santos is 11 seconds off Chiqueto. Kurtz is 46 seconds back, or 57 seconds back from the leader. However, this is Spa. Just driving through the pits is going to cost you almost 57 seconds. So therefore, I mean, this is Kurt's race now. If he continues to push, I don't see Chiqueto being able to get into the pits and back out in time to be able to keep ahead of Kurtz. But we shall continue to watch. 2 minutes and 56 seconds to go. Chiqueto heads into the pits now, just beginning his pit run. And already I'm watching that time come down 50 seconds. We'll see how quickly this goes. Santos as well heads into the pits. So now Kurtz 38 seconds from Santos, 40 seconds back from Chiqueto in first. Let's take a look back here at Sheffer leading Gebel and Fernandez. Kurtz now 21 seconds from Santos, 27 from Chiqueto. If we take a look, Chiqueto still sitting in the pits. Now Kurt's only 13 seconds back. As he makes the corner around La Source, there's no way now for Chiqueto to catch him. Even with moving, he still has to follow pit speed to get down to the end. Going to put Kurtz back up into first as he heads up through Eau Rouge and Radio. Santos still sitting in the pits. Chiqueto back out on track, however, currently in third as he drops back, with Bryn Evans now 6 seconds off Kurtz's pace. So that shows you there what a pit stop will do. Sheffer now, Gable looking to make the pass on Sheffer, but to the outside. We go door to door. Chief Blaze now with a stop go 30. The pit speeds are catching everybody today. Take a look back at Kiesar and Anderson. James Bessing as well pulling that stop go 30. Kiesar in the Porsche, trying to hold Anderson at bay in that Lexus. Anderson going to take that inside. And there we go, making the pass, coming into the corner. Excellent driving. Anderson able to take P11. Jump back up here. Sheffer, Gebel, and Fernandez running together. Fernandez looking to get past Gable. And Sheffer now pulling ahead as Tobias tries to play defense and hold on to P6 as best he can.
The leader has finished
And that is it. The leader has finished. Kurtz crossing the line in first. Bryn Evans right behind him. Jump back here and keep an eye out, though. Tobias Gable looking to come across and hold on to 6th, and he does. P6, Fernandez right there. P7, Remco Ottens, P8. Santos is 9th. Tom Foose, 30 seconds back, but going to be able to claim 10th. After all that, Anderson still under pressure from Kisar. We'll see if Anderson's able to hold on to it through the bus stop. Obviously an opportunity to pass coming into the chicane. However, holding outside, Anderson holds inside on both corners. Kisar just looking to try and give him a nudge with that Porsche, but it's not going to work. Anderson holds P11, Kisar P12. Let's throw those times up again now with the race all and done. Thank you everyone for joining me. Yannick Kurtz is your winner today. Taking P1 in the BMW M4 GT3. Bryn Evans right there, however. And an AMR V8 Vantage in P3. Athwal, David Athwal taking that. And Scheffer in 4th with Tobias Gable in 5th and Fernandez 6th. Ottens claiming 7th. Santos 8th. Tom Foose in 9th and Anderson claiming 10th. Again, I want to thank everybody for being here today. I want to thank Huff for joining me for the commentary. Red, Chief, those guys are out there. I know they were driving, couldn't really commentate, but I want to thank them all so much for being here.
No problem.
We are back. Oh, it's you. Jeez, don't scare me like that.
My stock go last lap. There's no way I could clear it.
I didn't even know you were there. Oh, why did I do that? I wanted to find... Next week's Misano, right? Yeah, Misano.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Eek.
Want to give my thanks for broadcasting plain and good English too, man? Oh, thank you, Yamaki. I do my best. I couldn't. TG says he couldn't have done another lap. Not enough fuel. He did the splash and dash and didn't bring out enough.
Oh, that sucks.
He made it. No, he made it, but he couldn't have done another one. He was happy it was over.
Oh, God.
Fucking perfect.
I couldn't have done another lap. My front tires would have left me.
Well, thank you to both of you. Good racing today. Excellent job.
I blew there at the end and had to give it back. So
We saw that. We saw that.
I gave it back to him, though.
That's good. We heard there was a button. But good job to everybody today. Thank you everyone in the watching on Twitch for joining us. My name is Adam. That's Red Rider. That's Chief Blaze. We'll be back next week at Misano. 45-minute standard race. Misano is the track. Great track. A very enjoyable one, I think. I hope everyone has themselves a great week. Hope you can get back here. And again, if you're interested in sim racing, if you think it's something you want to try, do not let your newness shy you away. Come on over and join BoX3, exclamation point box in the chat. We'll get you over to our Discord. We are more than happy to welcome you. New, fast, slow, old, doesn't matter. Come on over and join the community. Thank you, gentlemen. Y'all have yourselves a great and wonderful week. I'm going to try and do the same myself. Oh, I wish, you know, sometimes you just want to do stuff and it just... Nobody knows why.
Oh, yeah, I'm aware.
Oh, perfect. Hey, you want to throw music on for the closing screen of the thing? Well, we're going to update Spotify first, so. Unbelievable. That's my life.
Oh, I hate that track so much.
Have a good week, folks. We'll be back with Misano next Sunday.